Hi, everyone. Hey, it's Community Wednesday, Inspiring Stories. How's everyone doing? For those of you who don't know, I'm Zach's mum, and he's handed over the hosting for me today. So I'm going to be running you through the community stories this week. Just love to know where everyone's from. If you could put a small comment in the chat down below and let us know how long you've had your Healy, and maybe we can, depending on how many people are on the call, we can go through and just have a little bit of a chat to everyone who's on here. In the meantime, I'm going to share with you a little bit about my story. I'm an integrative naturopath. I have 2 sons, and I've been married 3 times, and I've been a healer for most of my life. And I've been in the health and wellness industry since I was about 18, when I actually wanted to own a gym and went into the aerobic scene in the 80s. You know, you can imagine, like Olivia Newton-John and everything. It was around that time. And I got led into naturopathic school as a single mum, and finished up being very passionate about homeopathics and understanding the electromagnetic field in the quantum field, knowing that the cellular activity and the vibration of the cell is what actually deciphers what diseases people encounter through their organism. So I was educated from a very early age that the vibrating, or the higher the frequency you can keep yourself, the less interference you would have with dis-ease. So what's happened to me for most of my life, and why I've been so passionate about this, is that I've always been interested in the brain and the brain waves. As a little girl, I used to always have this vibrating head, and I used to get migraines and I've suffered a lot of head injuries. So my nervous system's been quite traumatized over the years, and I've always known this before the Healy, but once I was introduced to the Healy about 1.5 years ago through Zach, and I was going through some trauma release then at the time, one of the main programs that came up for me was anxiety. So I've suffered anxiety and depression most of my life. And as an adult, just earlier this year, I was diagnosed as being ADHD. And so that's made me even more passionate about understanding what's the superpower of the brain and a neurodiverse imagination that I have. So as a consequence of using the Healy in the last 1.5 years, I've been able to emotionally regulate and contain and manage my energy in a way that I've never been able to do with the supplements and the exercises and the lifestyle that I've had before. It works to a certain level, but we never know what's going on unconsciously. And I always say to my clients, you don't know what you don't know. So when you can get digging deep in there, in your ocean, in your quantum field, and find out what patterns you've got going on that you're unaware of, and start to clear these things, then magic starts to happen. You really absolutely start to feel such an increase in the embodiment in your body, and your electromagnetic field starts to become more sparkly, energetic, and shimmery. You become more vital. It is actually called your vital force, and your vital force becomes a force to be reckoned with. And you are then the controller and manager of your own life, and not being activated by unconscious things and people and stuff that's externalized to us as a mirror in the external world. So anyway, that's my little share for the day. Hope you enjoyed that. Love to have a chat and see who's on the call. So going in here, who's online?
Hi, Iz.
Hey, Iggy, how are you?
I am fantastic.
Do you want to give everyone a little bit of a share about how you were introduced to the Healy? And I know you're in Tasmania. You've got your bands on.
I do. Yeah, I'm actually running a skin program at the moment. You know, because I need to work on my tan and whatnot, get those pigments going. But yeah, no. Hi everyone. Yeah, so I was actually introduced to the Healy about 3 months ago from this awesome man here, Zach. He he was going through a bit of a craving phase, needed some ice cream, came into this place, and I gave him the best ice cream he's ever had. Ended up having a bit of a chat, asking him what he does. He's like, oh, I know a bit of a holistic stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Skip forward a month later, I ended up going to his house, and he ended up showing me, like, oh, hey, just casually, oh yeah, man, this device here, it does this. I'm like, what? And I asked Zach, I was probably the most excited he's ever seen anyone. I don't know, but like ever. Like I was yeah, over the moon. Like I was like a kid in a candy shop, but like it's pretty much like an adult in a nice fine wine cheese shop. Overly excited. You can't wait to do and learn everything about it. So my first experience, I had a so I'm very much into like natural holistic practices, you know, breath work, intention, meditation, yoga, all those kind of good things. And then this came along and it did my first emotional scan. It was super present for me. And I was like, I felt so vulnerable. I felt so like open, like, oh, awesome. Like, you know, it's not just me thinking this. There's something that actually is like, yeah, this is what you're going through. It's not just in your head, you know? And then be able to run a program that literally like do another scan, like, okay, now your body's a bit out of balance. And I had allergies that morning. And so like for a machine to know that, I was blown away. Like, how does this know what my body's going through? And then being able to run an eyes program, helping my eyes out. I literally felt my eyeballs roll in my sockets, which I thought was very intense. um, and then I also was dealing with a lot of pain. And we ran a pain program. My pain went from a 9 out of 10 for my toothache to 0. You know, within 40 minutes, my pain was absolutely blown away. And so for me, I was kind of like, I'm not a big believer of pharmaceuticals like Panadol and Nurofen and stuff like that, just because, you know, the damage it does for the body. I've actually had liver damage done because of how much pharmaceuticals I had to take for previous surgeries on my hand and whatnot. And now, you know, having something that eliminates the need for pharmaceuticals for me personally is insane. You know, that's just awesome. My body can take a break from all these bad things I've been putting into it, with using just natural frequency and vibrations to help me out, which is awesome. But that's, you know, that's the dream. That's amazing. You know, be able to do that and then be able to share that as well with other people. Like for me, this month has been amazing. I've met some really cool people, given some people really cool experiences, you know, help people with a lot of different traumas being unblocked, you know, so they'll literally message me a day or two later, like, hey, I know what you've done, but I am so much happier. I'm literally connected with my family more. I'm talking to people about things that are passionate to me more. And yeah, it's just been a ride and a half. So it's been awesome. And yes, that's my Healy story in a nutshell. You're muted, Tanya, sorry.
I said, that's great, Iggy. Thanks for sharing that. Do you find that when you're sharing it with the people that you go straight into the programs relating to the 144,000 frequencies to do with the body, or do you take them into the energy programs in particular to the chakras and things like that?
I do the chakra ones first because I introduce people like, hey, you know, this is first of all, because
okay. And
anyway.
Are they presenting with physical symptoms though?
What was that, sorry?
I said, are most of them presenting with something that's going on in their body physically, you know, like...
Yes, yeah. And then what I'll say, so I was like, well, first of all, when you get yourself into a good emotional and a good state energetically, it's a lot easier for your body to be able to heal yourself physically. So if we take care of the energy body first, then the body can follow suit. And then after that, they'll be like, oh, okay, well, actually, that's awesome. And then are there programs for such and such? I'm like, yeah, there actually are programs helping with that. But let's get you on the inside first. You know, health starts with inside out. And that's the kind of, you know, approach I take with people. And they really resonate and respond to that, you know, because a lot of people, you know, a lot of doctors will treat symptoms. You know, you got a symptom here, take this. I was like, well, let's get to the cause. How about we deal with the cause and then the symptoms will disappear? You know,
yeah.
So that, yeah.
Agreed. Thanks for sharing, Iggy. That's fantastic.
Anytime.
How's everyone else going? Let me just see who's on the call here. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Claire. Hi, Christina. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Benita. Would anybody else like to share their experience with their Healy? Oh, and Tracy. Hi.
Hey, Tanya. How are you? I'd like to share when everyone's ready.
Sure. We're ready. Jump in now.
Awesome. Hey, Zach. Good to see everybody on here. Yeah, my journey with Healy, or my journey with health, has actually been an ongoing journey over the last 5 or 6 years. And it came from a place of working in a corporate role. I was a state manager of one of the banks. I was working long hours, stressed out, and just was not in a good place. So I started a health journey, which helped me kind of address a lot of those issues, because I was so stressed out. I was eating the wrong foods, and I'd put on extra kilos, and I wasn't sleeping well, and all those things that we all suffer with. You know, who can relate to that sort of stuff? so I started using some supplements and changing my habits, eating healthy foods, and a lot of those issues resolved, and that blew me away. But still, I would have back pain, and still I would have sleep issues from time to time because I can't turn my brain off. And so I realized that something else is missing. There's still something else going on that I need to work on. So I did this Tyler Tolman course, and he talked about other, principles of health. And that opened me up to things like having lots of plants around, and because that helps the air. And it was actually when I was buying some plants to bring into my house that I lifted one of the plants and I put my back out in a big way, such that I was kind of incapacitated for a month. And that pain was not like anything I've felt before. It was insane. And it was around that time that a friend had purchased a Healy, and she said to me, just give this a go and see what it does. And so I tried it, and that pain that I had in my back, which had already started to improve after about a month, but it was still around a 4 out of 10, disappeared and lasted for a few days. And that blew me away. At the same time, my hubby, he's got a shoulder issue. He tried it, and his pain in his shoulder, which he's had since a football accident in his early 20s, disappeared as well and lasted for a few days. And so we wanted to purchase this product, but the person that she just wasn't interested at all in doing the business. And because we'd already knew about this network marketing industry, we knew that if we wanted to do this as a business and really share it and help other people, because we just knew so many people are suffering with pain, so many people are suffering with sleep issues, and this device could help with all of those things, that we wanted to join somebody who was professional and would be able to sort of support us to get this out to the masses. And that's when I tracked down Zach. I saw some of the stuff that he was posting, and I just reached out to him and I said, we're really interested in this device, and we want to actually build it as a business because we're passionate about health and wellness and helping other people, which had become our purpose for the last 5 years. I'd given up my job in the bank and was totally involved in health and making a difference. And I knew that this device would be the exact thing that would empower that and be able to help us help so many people. Like, we've got a friend who suffers with rheumatoid arthritis, and this has just been a game changer for him to be able to. I know you've met him, Tanya. Before our product arrived, you helped him with him, and to be able to have he's now got his own Healy, and he can turn that on all the time, and it can really help support his pain. That's huge. Helps so many people, and I love that we get to sort of make a bigger difference. And the other day, Tony's mum, my hubby's mum, came around, and she was really suffering with back issues. Like, I asked her, how much pain are you in? And she said, it's like 9.5 out of 10. She was in distress when she could barely walk in. She wasn't going to come over, but she knew that this could maybe help her. And we popped her on the Healy. Half an hour later, that pain had really reduced down, and the anxiety and the stress, we did a few other programs, disappeared. So my journey with this is I'm so passionate about this and what it can do. I mean, to be able to raise your vibration and disappear the things that we all suffer with, aches and pains and stress and anxiety and sleep is just, I believe that every family needs to have one of these in their household, that everybody needs one of these. It's about, if we want to be sovereign in this world, if we want to empower ourselves, then we need to be able to not be dependent on pharmaceutical pills and potions and things which band-aid the issue but don't actually, and then cause bigger issues. So I'm super passionate about it. I absolutely love it. It's made a big difference for me. I use it all the time.
That's huge.
And run programs like health, mental health, I should say, and acute stress and all kinds of things, because that's just the world we're living in. I think it just can make such a difference, and it does.
Yeah, 100%. It's really interesting how we can get ourselves in a position in life where we're actually under so much stress that we kind of build ourselves into those areas where we can build certain levels of resilience and willpower and force, but we're not actually allowing and receiving. So it's great how that position in your life from the corporate stressy world has led you into such an expanded lifestyle now, so that you've got so much more opportunities. And I also believe, like you were saying, with the plants, the environment is such a huge game changer to how the person feels every day, what they're surrounding themselves with. So yeah, well done. I often say to my clients that stress is desserts backwards.
Wow.
Stress is desserts backwards. So when you start to flip it and work on what your pain triggers are, and they're not only physical pain, as you know, we've got emotional and mental, but yeah, I think a lot of people are in a lot of pain at this time on the planet. There's so much going on, and it's really cool to think that we can be helping so many people in physical pain at least, you know.
At the very least, and it does so much more. So
yeah. For sure.
Thanks for letting me share. It's always
my pleasure. Love you.
Thank you.
Who else is on here? Anthony, Beverly, Claire, Christina, Margaret. Who else would like to have a bit of a share this morning?
Yeah, I'm happy to. Mine's probably not as deep as just yet, because I'm feeling.
Who is that?
Can you hear me, Tanya?
Yes. What was your name? Sorry.
Christina.
Christina, great. Nice to meet you. Yeah, go ahead.
You too. Well, Claire actually introduced me to the Healy device. So she's been watching my journey on Instagram and watching how I'm sort of, I'm in the corporate world at the moment. So I'm still in that kind of, I will say it, toxic environment, and just was feeling like it wasn't aligning with my values. And I began this healing journey during COVID last year. So that was really where it all began for me, to begin to kind of peel back the layers and, recover from anxiety, or not recover, but, manage anxiety, manage the stress. And that kind of led me to studying NLP and then becoming a coach. So I've now started my business as an empowerment coach. And Claire initially thought that, the Healy would be something that would definitely support that, which she's right. However, I myself was actually going through perimenopause at the time. And I'm 46, and everyone was saying, it's quite young to be going through perimenopause, whatever. And I had all the hormone tests, and it all came up that I was going through perimenopause. I was having severe mood swings. I couldn't sleep. I was waking up, in the middle of the night and just awake for at least an hour. So then trying to get through the next day was very, very tough. Sorry, I'm just ringing. And since I've been using the Healy, I've been using it a lot for mental balance, for hormonal balance. I haven't really used it for my anxiety, because I've just been focusing more on the hormones and the sleep. And the mood swings are pretty much gone. And I sleep 8 hours a night. And I've got my period back. like regular, I know that's a bit much for some people, sorry, but and I'm not taking any medication for it. So I was taking these bioidentical tablets from this menopause clinic, which was costing me like $280 a month, and they weren't doing anything. I still couldn't sleep.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Things. Yeah,
it's amazing what happens in regard to the hormonal system, because, as you know, the adrenal glands that sit on top of the kidneys are regulating our hormones and what we're being fed to our brain. And of course it makes sense that we're like moody, bitchy, having mood swings, can't emotionally regulate. It's all coming from that area. And good for you. Like so many people, when they become desserts, stressed backwards and relaxed, they do actually start menstruating again. So it's an incredible thing that happens quite frequently if the woman stays committed to rebalancing up her hormonal system. So wow, that's fantastic. Good result. Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
And even the brain fog as well that comes with obviously getting older, and the hormonal imbalance, like that, the concentration acute, and all the learning, because I've got a million things going on at once, right? I'm a manifesting generator, so I'm like, I've got like 100 things going on at once. So the concentration.
Understood. Thanks for sharing. I'm a reflector. Okay, so
Nice.
just to let everybody know who's on the call, we're going to be definitely jumping off at 5 to 11, so we're on a time frame here. So if everyone wants to have a little bit of a chat, we've got 3 or 4 minute shares, and let me just see who else is on. There seems to be some more people on the call. So hello Julie, hello Denise. Who's next? Who'd like to have a share their inspiring community story? All right, well, I'll play the teacher. And Beverly, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, Beverly, would you like to share for a few minutes?
Well, I've had the Healy since like May of 2020, and I have some health challenges, and I'm don't use it every day, but I'm trying to use it every day to help me with my issues. I have a fractured shoulder, and I have some digestive issues. So, I run the scans and I run the programs, and I don't really see anything. So I get a little discouraged, and then I put it away. And when I come on calls like these,
Oh,
I get, encouraged again. In fact, I just ran a scan, and I'm not doing the digestol right now. So, but I've had a lot of, I've heard a lot of people have had excellent results, like right away. So like I said, I'm just, I know I need to use it every day. And
hang in there, Beverly. I'm here to encourage you that if you do, maybe run the Meridian programs and find out what energy blocks are going through that shoulder of yours, probably related to small intestine, which is going to link back to your digestive system. So it's really cool to get onto the Meridian programs. And a lot of people have got so much fear going on at the moment that until they sort of address a lot of their kidney issues at the moment, then they can't start to shift what's going on top. It's like a foundation. We need to kind of rock out the foundations to let everything start to loosen off, a bit like, the jigsaw, getting some movement in there instead of being so rigid and hard. So sorry to hear you've got a shoulder injury. Those shoulder things suck.
So you're suggesting to run the Meridian programs?
Yeah, just to loosen up some other areas around the shoulder instead of just focusing on exactly where the pain is. It's not always located just there. It's going to be all around different areas of the body. So play, explore. The body's an incredible organism. It knows exactly what it's doing. If we knew how to hack it, we could play with it even better.
Now, can I ask you a question? This came up at 77%, this deep cycle H. I don't know. I don't have a deep cycle H. Is there a deep cycle H?
Well, it's
I know
changed
there's
recently.
a deep cycle, but not a deep cycle H.
Oh, okay. Yeah. With some of the upgrades, there's 2 programs now, the Deep Cycle and the Deep Cycle H. Just go in and do the Deep Cycle. They're very similar.
Okay.
They've got the same things, but that's exactly where you're going to find that kidney meridian female, which is based on a lot of fierce restraints at the moment. There's kidney male and kidney female. So yeah, go into the deep, even though you haven't got the H program, just go and do the deep cycle. It's really cool. It actually gets to the roots of a lot of stuff.
So go into the deep cycle and then run the scan on it and see which one I should run of those, because I just picked digestol because I'm having digest issues. So that's what I'm,
Perfect.
That's what I'm doing right now. But
I think, so run it like 3 times in a row for 3 days in a row. Thanks, Zach. And also it's 2 minutes, the 2-minute programs. I vibrate mine a lot without wearing my pads and everything. So, yeah.
Oh, so you're suggesting to vibrate it. Don't do the whole.
I do that to see how much it shakes it up. Sometimes I've got to continue doing it 3 or 4 times, other times not. It just all depends. Like every organism's different. We're so unique. Don't think that there's any one way here. The more you can play, the more you will learn about your body. It's incredible.
Well, I've always used it with the, with the wristbands. I do all the programs with the wristbands, but
you can play with the vibrate and let it shake up a few things before you go and do the specific programs for long periods of time.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you for the.
You're welcome. Thanks for your share, Beverly. Bye for now.
Thanks.
Hey, Denise, hello. Would you like to have a share?
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks.
It's so wonderful. I'm here in the States, and so I don't always get to go on your calls, but it's at a great time right now.
Where are you?
I'm in New York.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, go on. Sorry, I won't get distracted.
No, I have been really enjoying. I have 2 Healys actually, because I just loved my first one, and I was like, oh, I could do so much more work at one time doing them both. And I'm really enjoying learning about my body. And then I've also done the oh my goodness, I'm having cohesive. Is that the one to help with manifesting? And honestly, I have to tell you, it really just magnifies everything. And even so many wonderful things are happening, and I cannot thank my Healy enough. I love it. And I've been also running the mind, body, and spirit one every day too, and it's really great.
Oh, that's fantastic. They're both awesome programs. I remember running the abundance one and feeling tingling in my body.
Yeah.
And I just think that's the more we're embodied we become, the more tingly we become. We can feel and get excited. We just become this incredibly electronic bulb of activity. So that's really good. I'm glad to hear that you got that result from those programs. Thank for sharing, so much, Denise.
Absolutely. Where did you find the abundance one? I haven't seen that in my Healy.
That one was in the pink dot. I don't know. I can't. Let's have a look. I don't know. Somewhere in there.
No worries. I can try to look. Maybe I just missed it.
It might have been a program that I bought extra as an extra thing. And so yeah, that also had an incredibly expansive feeling, as did the coherence when I ran that.
Yes, they're all excellent. So I can't speak enough about it. And I'm a massage therapist by trade, so I'm actually going to start putting this. You too. Oh my goodness, so great. I want to start putting this into my practice.
Yes, it's very good. I do that with my clients as well.
Wonderful.
Okay, thanks for sharing, Denise. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Who's next? Rolling on.
I can share.
Who's that? Anthony, yay. Hi.
Hey. And
Tony,
I want to, before I start going, Derek Nakamura, who is a time waiver practitioner, has the Wealth and Abundance on top of a ton of other amazing frequencies. So link up with him. He's always making custom ones for me. And he also wanted to collaborate with me and my team on making group ones. So if we have certain affirmations or things we're trying to work on as a team or collectively, if someone's struggling through something and they want programs for that, we can make that. But I wanted to put that out there. He's really awesome.
Thank you.
So for me, a recent one, I did scans for a friend who is also a veteran and I grew up with him, and he was going through a really hard time and really discouraged in life. And he ended up getting his Healy, and he purchased some of these additional programs, but we finally had a positive conversation last night after 2 days of having it. And he felt like he was more back in flow and more comfortable. And like, he even went golfing and he was like hitting balls way further than normal. And like, he felt like everything was back in flow state, which he hadn't experienced in a long time. So I feel like, as I've said before, so many other times, the Healy knows where your imbalances are. You just have to trust it, go with your scans, and use it daily. Like, you have to get it in your routine like any other health practice in order to really feel the benefits. And I always say do at least one program with the microcurrent. I do a lot with my Healy coil as well. And then I also send frequencies to myself overnight, either doing the protection programs or the sleep programs. And I've actually made a huge long list of my own I am affirmations. So I don't know if you guys know how to do that yet. You do an aura scan, and then you select just one of the chakras and then do the analyze. And when all that pops up, you can click the red X in the bottom right and delete them. And then you can do add manually. And then the desired state, you just put your I am affirmation. And you can also store frequencies of certain items. You can use photos that like you would do when you're creating a vision board. So I have a huge list that I'm constantly adding to. And then I run that stuff on during my sleep, and my dreams are always vivid. I'm always doing amazing things, and it really kind of gets you in that flow state. It's like a master manifesting tool. So this thing can help with our whole system and balancing that out, and it also can be used as a tool to create. So that's about all I got right now.
Wow,
I also have some.
That adds a whole other dimension to our vision board pure potential thing. Hey, who just chimed in then? What was that?
Hi, I'm Kirsten. I just wanted to jump in and talk about the custom frequencies. I also bought one of those for astral projection. I have spent thousands of dollars trying to astral project, and I got the frequency and started doing it. And I think it took me about 2 weeks, but I was able to finally leave my body, and it was the craziest experience I've ever had. I mean, I literally thought I was getting up to get a glass of water, and I turned around and myself was still laying in bed. So, I mean, it was very more in depth than that, but yeah, that's just my testament to the kinds of things that it can do. I mean, you have all these amazing healing abilities, but also spiritually, there's these amazing qualities that far and away supersede anything that you've been, that you may have blocks to doing normally. So yeah. I was able to do that, and I was pretty impressed with the ability, because like I said, I spent thousands of dollars taking courses, and I'm a spiritual healer. So that was really something I've worked on for a long time. So.
Wow, Kirsten, that sounds amazing. And like, excuse my ignorance, but like, why would somebody want to astral project? Like, what?
Well, there's a lot of things you can do in the astral realm, especially with healing abilities. Like when I am taking my clients through meeting their healing guides, I have to interview them in the astral realm. Now, I do that currently in meditation, but to go there to go there when you're asleep is 10 times more powerful, and is truly transformative. You can go also. You can see things that are going on in the real world. Like what's happening out there is really happening when you're astral projecting. They've even done some experiments to show that they've put like numbers under things and asked people to go and astral project and to go and look at it. And they've been able to be accurate about it. So it's a very cool experience.
Wow, that's incredible. I know for myself personally, I astral travel when I float, when the brain waves are going into that theta phase, because that's where the most manifesting happens. So I can definitely vouch that it happens when I'm floating in tanks. But yeah, for you to be able to activate this through the Healy, that's another thing. So fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing.
Absolutely.
Look forward to hearing from you more. Bye for now. Hello, who else wants to have a chat?
I'm happy to share.
Claire, hi darling.
Yeah, hi there, lovely. Great to be here again. Hope everyone's well. So I'm quite a long time member of Healy. I got my Healy back in March 2020. So a year ago, just before the whole world went into lockdown, basically. And it has been so supportive. I didn't quite understand how much it would support me during this time, but to be honest, I'm not sure where I'd be without it. I still have my moments, but it just keeps me balanced on a daily basis. I'm loving the wellness programs at the moment, the mind, body, spirit ones. For overall balancing. That's a new category that we've received recently, and also coherence, because that connects you to the frequencies of nature, of course. And being locked down, we're not always able to get out as much as we'd like. So I'm finding those really beneficial. But the reason I got my Healy was for my family. It was for me first and foremost, but also for my children. So at the time, I was going through a real challenging time. I'd left my ex several years prior, but it was still really toxic between us. And the anxiety I was feeling in my body, unbeknown to me, was showing up in my son's body. So he'd had ongoing tummy issues from the November prior, and he actually ended up in hospital in Easter that year, so in April. So I just started to use the Healy on me towards like mid to the end of March. And I started to feel much more calm, much more balanced in myself. I dealt with his hospital stay much better. And I thought, wow, I wonder if the tummy aches are to do with anxiety, because the doctors couldn't pinpoint what was wrong with him. They did all the tests, nothing came back. They actually finally said it's anxiety. So I started running the anxiety programs more on me, doing the chakra balances, just doing whatever came up for me, which was a lot of mental balance stuff, daily, 3 programs a day, daily blue aura, chakra scans, things like that. And miraculously, I'd say within 3 weeks to a month, his tummy pains had gone. And these were ongoing, you know, these were 6 months prior he'd had them. And he was so sick in hospital, and we just tried everything. So to me, I didn't realize at the time that it was my anxiety showing up in his body. So that just shows, you know, the power of our energy and our frequency and how it affects others. So I hadn't even used it on him that much when he was in hospital. I used it a little bit when he was really sick. So I did like the stomach programs. The intestine came up because he was really, really badly sick. Like he had gastro, but it wasn't gastro. But I used it mainly on me. And just by using it on me, it shifted him and his energy field. And now he no longer suffers with those tummy issues at all. So that's just one story. There's so many more I could share. But that was the real pivotal point for me. And that's once his body started to heal, that's when I really started to share Healy, because I really believed in the product. I knew it worked, and yeah, I'm super passionate about it, and just love
That's
this
fantastic.
device that we have.
Yeah, thanks, Claire.
And not only that,
yeah,
sorry to interrupt, not only that, but the relationship with my ex, we still have our moments, of course, you know, it's an ongoing journey, but it's improved so much more. And that's as a result of using the Healy, I believe anyway. I'd go as far as to say we're amicable at times. So yeah, we have our moments like anyone, but overall it's much, much better between us.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I mean, as we all know, we're all connected by the quantum field anyway. We're all swimming in the same ocean. We've just got our own little drops to deal with. And children are part of our big drops, and they just feel everything. They're even bigger sponges than we are. So working out these energetic patterns, especially between exes and interpersonal relationships, is really, really the healthy way forward for our children, because anybody who's, you know, continuing to hold on to these things between the ending of interpersonal relationships is only just like damaging the little kids that we love.
Exactly.
We should be doing it all for the kids.
Totally.
Okay, thanks, Claire.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Have a great day,
darling. You too.
Who else wants to share? Have we spoken to Christina? I'm getting a Christina's. Hello. Sam, Samantha, Margaret.
Spoken to me.
Oh, have we? Sorry, yep. Excuse my, unprofessional nature. Okay, Logo Minima.
Hi, look, it's Margaret here. I'll share. I'm not turning my camera on because I've washed my hair this morning and just put it on top of my head. So
that's okay. That's why I have that days.
I feel really rude, but yeah, well, I've had my Healy for probably 12 months, and yeah, I've used it with I've had some really good things happen with. I've had toothache and fixed it within 20 minutes and was able to go out, and it was amazing. Like, I could not believe it. And then came home, ran it for another 20 minutes. It's touch wood, never come back. So really, and that was like not even being able to touch my tongue near my tooth. It was so bad. Yeah, so I've had that. I've helped one of my girlfriends with rheumatoid arthritis, so she's had really good results, and that's just through the resonance, vibrating it to her, because we haven't been able to, connect with anyone. So that really, why I joined in this morning is probably a bit selfish, but I just like to hear what people are doing, because I'm not really, like at the moment I've been diagnosed with high blood pressure, and I've been on tablets for a week. They've made me so sick, and I've gone off them, and now I want to use my Healy to do it, and I don't really know what to do. Like, I don't know what programs or all that to run. I just thought maybe someone here might be able to give me a bit of an idea of what to do for that.
Can you just repeat that again? What was the issue?
high blood pressure. Not really
high blood pressure.
high, but enough that they want to put me on medication.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm an integrated naturopath. I'm not a doctor, but what I do know about high blood pressure is that, you know, it's a heated thing. The blood's getting hot, and the cholesteronic responses. So there'd be inflammation going on there, acidity, circulation. I'd be looking at, you know, quite a few other things in regard to cooling your system. So go in and check the meridians again.
Okay.
I always start with the meridians because they're like the ley lines of our body and indicate what areas are getting stagnant and things like that. And also with your blood, you know, lie on the grass, ground, be on the sand, like really bring all the positive things back into your body, because it's clearly maybe electromagnetically field unprotected, maybe too much computer, electronic, you know, fake light, etc., etc. So like I said, play around and find out exactly where you know. The protection program on the Healy comes up for me a lot because I'm not as diligent as Zach and my other son, you know, they go and switch off power things and don't sleep with things in their room. You know, I'm not very disciplined in that regard. So I run the protection program a lot.
Okay. Thank you.
Someone's saying meridians too, circulation too. Yeah.
I just did the what's the program where you can look up things, and it gave me a big list, so I can send you the screenshot of what comes up for blood pressure regulation.
Oh, okay.
I used to be on blood. What's that?
Oh, I just said thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I used to be on blood pressure medications, hardcore, way like 3 years ago, and the big thing that helped me get off on all my medications was diet and nutrition.
Yeah.
So you could figure out what exactly it is you're eating. I went like plant-based really quickly and got off of all of those, but I'll send you the pictures of what popped up on the Healy as well.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I've gone sort of keto, more plant-based in the last 6 weeks. So I'm trying to, because I hate, like someone mentioned before, I'm not a pharmaceutical person, don't like taking any of those drugs. So I really put this off. But so now that I'm off them again, I'm just going to try and fix it myself.
Yeah, that's good. You know, just like, change what you're putting in your mouth for sure. That has a huge component to what's going on in your body. But, you know, by the same token, you know, meds are okay. Medication is okay. I'm a naturopath and I'm not going to poo bar them. They have their place in society. So, you know, if you're using both, then you're winning. If you can get down to just not being on medication, then great. But everyone's got their own boat to float, and everyone needs navigation through in different ways. So don't give yourself a hard time taking the medication, because that's going to be half of the guilt or whatever emotions going on behind that. You know, support yourself. Don't give yourself, oh, I'm not. It's like, no, I am.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks everyone
No
so much.
Okay, ciao.
Ciao.
Okay, we're down to the last share, everyone. Who have we spoken to? Samantha? No, doesn't look like we're going to. Anybody else want to have the last share before we pop off in another 5 minutes? No? Okay, well, I hope everyone's enjoyed today's share. It's great to get different aspects and variations on how people are running the programs, because, you know, like I said, everyone's unique. We all have our own way, and learning to navigate is a real skill. I know for myself, there's so many things. I've had the privilege of trying so many diets and so many ways of eating and so many ways of living and so many yogic practices and being like a junkie explorative adventurer in so many ways in the naturopathic field. And when you can basically get back to understanding where your core values are, what sort of body structure you have, how you thrive, I mean, there's been times when I've realized that I've been getting everything back to front and not doing things that support my body in a way that I'd be pushing my way through in a willful way. And then once I learned to actually surrender and break through other layers of ice in my defense structures, then I'd navigate a different way that would be so much more beneficial than what I was doing in the past. So I guess I just want to say thanks for listening, all of you explorer, adventurer, healthy, wellness-orientated people. And
I
look
have a
forward
quick
to...
question, if that's
Yep.
okay, that
Sure.
to everybody out there. I've ran this in the Healy Advisor as well, but I have a client who has type 1 diabetes. And so I'm wondering if anybody has had any experience with anything with that and what programs they run for that. Because we've tried everything in the that's in the Healy Advisor app, and it hasn't really helped yet. So I was wondering if anybody has any suggestions.
Maybe, well, I don't have any experience on that personally, but, you know, like I said, that's also going to be another situation where they are medicated, but they can also support themselves with the Healy, which is just incredible. So yeah, if anyone can add something to the chat about that, that'd be fantastic.
Thanks, guys.
One of the groups, have you tried looking in the frequency experience group?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
I've been kind of trying to ask everybody I know about it, and we've tried the gamut of situations. So I was just kind of putting that out there to everybody to see if they had any experience with it at all.
Yeah, we'll put some feelers out, see what we come up with.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
I must admit, Tanya, this is my mum's first hosting of a Healy experience for other people. So I want to give can everyone open up their mics and get a bit of a whoop whoop, or, you know, a bit of a celebration for her. She's doing so well.
Thanks, Zach.
Been amazing.
I like how you command,
well done.
the Zoom. I'm here taking photos and stuff. It's hilarious. It's awesome. You did a great job, Mom.
Well done.
Thanks, Zach.
You did a great job for being your first time. I would have never known that.
Me
Wow.
neither.
I would have. You really,
Well,
you handled it great. You let everybody, gave people information, and yeah, I would have never known it was your first. You're a natural.
I'm a naturopath.
It runs in the family, clearly.
Well, I can tell you the son surpassed the teacher, that's for sure. As they should. All right, well, thanks for listening, everyone. Hope you're on next week, and we're going to go even more. I think, the more we do with these, we can explore deeper and deeper ways of, I have so much knowledge on the body that I've never shared externally. And I just think that as we share our stories and we can all collaborate, that we're just going to come up with so many more enriching stories. And, I love telling stories. We're all storytellers. And one of my jokes is I say, never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Well, I sent you a private message. I hope you and Zach will be able to answer me. And the only other thing I want to say is, everyone heard about the new did everybody get their email about the new program, where bottom line is, if you buy a residence between now, you'll be upgraded to the professional. You know that, right? Does everybody know that?
Definitely.
Okay.
You just want to repeat it for us, just for some new people?
Very exciting.
Pardon me?
Would you mind?
Exciting. Oh, sorry. Go back.
Would you mind repeating what the new promotion is for some of the new people?
I believe it is, and I think if between now and October 3rd, if you buy the residence, you will be automatically upgraded to the professional. And the professional is the top of the line, and that has all the programs. And there's most of the programs, and there's no subscriptions. So just so everybody knows, they might want to get with whomever turned you on to Healy and talk about the promo that's going on right now.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks so much, Beverly.
And just the final say, the Healy is not designed to cure, prevent, reverse. Just a little disclaimer in here. It's all on the website if you want to look at the disclaimer. The body's the miracle. The Healy gets the body.